Mindset. Talk to me a little bit about mindset. How important is mindset? And, within matches, can that mindset change to a positive, to a negative? Often we see mindset sort of be a little bit on the negative side when someone's losing. How much of a driver is that for performance?
Oh man, you have all the greats talking about how important mindset is, and they keep mentioning it over and over and over again. The more time goes on, I'd say mindset is massive for tennis, and tennis is a very mental game. I don't know percentage wise how much. If you ask coaches, if you ask players, they'd give you different numbers. I'd say at least at I I'd say the best way we can look at it is in training. Tennis is 90% physical and 10% mental. And then in competition, that flips. It's 90% mental and 10% physical. Because if you're not doing the mental well and that mindset isn't right, you won't be able to execute. That's it.
Nothing
Like
else
there's
matters.
you can be the best in the world. And we've seen great players choke.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I'd say for that reason, it's important. And it does fluctuate, as you mentioned, from positive to negative. Yeah, that's quite normal. That is quite human for all emotions to come in, for us to be challenged by different scenarios and situations on the court and not have dealt with them before. So to get nervous and self-doubt to creep in. So that's quite normal. But having those uh, call that protective, you know what I mean? Protective
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
circuits so that our brain doesn't short circuit, so that we don't go down that hole of self-doubt and spiral that way. But instead we say, okay, yeah, I see what you're trying to do there.
Mm-hmm.
Self-talk. I see. Okay, cool. Welcome to the party. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And we reroute it. I'd say that's quite useful for sure.
Nice. You mentioned earlier something that I want to ask you about, and you said confidence. You spoke about confidence, and I had something in my mind to ask you about belief. And so you said it was the physical repetition and the mental. What was it? If you
Um,
remember.
um, Confidence is a mental and physical reps.
Mental and physical reps. Okay.
Yeah.
So is that what builds that confidence and the mindset of performing well under pressure?
For sure, that's what builds it. And confidence is really about it's this feeling of trust from believing in your own abilities and skill set. That's what
Okay.
confidence is in a nutshell. And the physical and mental reps is how it's built. And we have a lot of thoughts per day. We have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. About 4 to 6,000 of those thoughts are conscious.
Wow.
So, right. So that's
Wow.
not a lot. Like
So you're saying
10%.
about 5 to 10% is conscious.
Yeah, 5 to 10% are conscious.
Wow.
And so the trick is, can we be conscious of those conscious ones? And can we figure out what the unconscious ones are and what's stuck on repeat for me? Because
Mm-hmm.
that is important for belief and confidence.
Because
Am
that
I
can mess
telling
you up.
myself, is it
Sorry,
trying to
that can
mess
mess you
you
up.
up? Am I thinking of past failures the night before match? Or can I, when I think of that, can I think of the past successes and highlights? So, that's why having video is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Having the video of the great points and the great successes, because sometimes it's hard to picture it, but going back to those moments and revisiting them the night before a match, the morning of a match, is huge for confidence, man. And that's the physical rep, the
Mm-hmm.
mental reps.
Mm-hmm. And so, we are in a situation currently, but, regardless of what's going on in the outside world at times when we're trying to develop as a tennis player, can you build up the physical reps by shadow swinging, by imagery, by visualization? Are those tools that are useful and fully transferable to the tennis court once you are competing?
Yeah, exactly. You got it. So the imagery or visualizing, as it's commonly called, and self-talk. So what we're saying to ourselves and what we're not saying to ourselves are a piece of that mental reps. And then, yeah, shadow swinging. Shadow swinging is big for the physical rep side of things. And Have you read The Talent Code?
I have a long time ago, but I have. Yes.
Time ago. So if
Yes.
you remember in The Talent Code, great book, by the way, by Dan
Yeah.
Coyle. Um,
Loved it.
in that book, he goes to that Russian academy,
Was it the art academy or was it the tennis academy?
tennis academy.
Tennis academy. Okay.
Yeah, he goes to the tennis academy, and this it was crazy. Like at the time of the writing of the book, that academy, which had two crappy courts that were shut down, like shoddy courts,
hmm
had produced more top 10 players than all of the US. So that was crazy. And
hmm
their approach, when you're talking about shadow swinging and we're talking about physical reps, for 3 years, those kids did not touch a ball. I don't know if you remember that.
That's unbelievable. I don't remember that detail.
They did shadow rallies
Yeah.
back and forth with each other in slow-mo.
Slow-mo, I remember that's one thing that I'm really trying to, or have been incorporating into my teaching since that reading, just the ability to slow down and to really process what you're doing at each phase of the swing.
Yes, for sure. So there's a reason why that was successful. Yeah, they probably had really good players coming in,
Yeah,
right?
that's
It wasn't,
amazing.
yeah, but I think that's massive for confidence.
And when confidence gets threatened by change or by uncertainty, how do you deal with that? Because that's something that's very evident right now in the world. So we're living it day to day potentially, and on court as well. You see someone that's hitting a certain forehand semi decent, and you're going, well, here are some changes you want to make to that forehand so that 3 months from now it's going to be a bigger weapon. However, that's going to mean that you're going to miss a few shots now. You may not feel right at the start. So, what are some ways of having people let go of that safety, that security of what I have right now to have more down the road?
For sure. Yeah, and that's hard, isn't it?
It's hard.
Yeah, because I'm like, hey, why would I change? It's working right now, and what you're showing me isn't as good.
hmm
Um, I'd say a piece of it is for the people to buy into the vision and to the bigger picture of things. As you mentioned, hey, 3, 4 months, 6 months down the line, if you do this every week with me, you're gonna have a great forehand. And if you put in time on your own, it's gonna be in 2 months. You're gonna have
Yeah.
a great forehand. And it's going to feel good. It's going to be technically better. You're not going to get as injured. You're going to be using less energy. You're going to be more accurate. So, yeah, I'd say that comes to a growth mindset. And
hmm
the two mindsets between the fixed and the growth mindset. I mean, the fixed mindset is I don't believe that I can get better if I put in work. I believe that if I'm putting in more work, that's not a good thing. Intelligence and talent are fixed. That's the kind of beliefs a person with fixed mindset has. And then growth mindset is I believe that if I put in the effort and work, I will improve at this skill. Intelligence and talent are developed.
hmm
And so I'd say just really toying around with that and demystifying what the person is and where they slide on that scale, and then having that conversation with them around, hey, it seems like you really don't believe that you can improve, and why is that, and what can I do to you know to show you that you can, and think about past experiences where you have improved. So
Yeah.
I'd say definitely confidence is going to go down. I mean, but I'd say it comes down to really making sure that the level of challenge is good for the person in the sense
Right.
that it's a new technique, not having them hit right to the corner right away,
Yeah.
obviously. So
Yeah.
scaling it down to, okay, let's get it in the court, let's get into half a court, let's get into this
So little
spot.
bites of progress so that they can
Yeah,
somewhat manage it.
not too hard,
Yeah.
not too easy. So
Yeah.
having that just right, kind of like the three bears, is
Yeah.
I think big for that confidence of learning a new skill. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And so tell me a little bit, what are you doing these days as far as, challenging yourself? I got an email earlier today that you're doing a new podcast, and obviously, you obviously know what you're doing, and I love our conversation today. Really enjoyed it. So really thank you for that. But, please share with us, like, what are you doing right now, and what are some things that we can look forward to in 2021?
Cool. So what am I doing right now? I'm doing continuing to do the work with individuals and teams,
Yes.
continuing to do speaking at different organizations and companies that reach out. And in 2021, I'm going to continue working with mindset with individuals and teams. And I'm also starting to get more into company and team culture, and to start doing that work with consulting with companies, which is why my podcast, Cultivate Your Culture, is I've started to release that.
Nice. So it's called Create Your Culture, and it's available where?
Cultivate Your Culture.
Cultivate Your Culture.
Everywhere. Available
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure I mention that in the details of this podcast as well as the video. And yeah, Zoran,
Perfect.
it's been a real pleasure seeing you this way and chatting with you. And I look forward to collaborating a lot more this year, really, and in the future time as well. And hopefully you can assist many of our followers and tennis players around the world. And I really look forward to that.
You as well, my friend. Hvala ti puno.
Yeah.
See you. Yeah,
See you
let's
soon.
do it again. See you soon. See you soon. All the best.
Hvala također. We'll talk soon.